Hey, good morning. Welcome back to the Pickets channel. Today we're going to talk about BAH entitlements, basic allowance of housing, and these entitlements for you and what that means for you as a service member, and also some small or brief key regulations that you can look up that are applicable to you. So let's take a dive into it. Now, BAH, basic allowance of housing, is a key benefit for U.S. service members. But however, if you have a foreign spouse, let's take a look at it and break it down. First thing first, what is BAH and what does it mean for you? BAH is a tax-free allowance that is your right and is supposed to be applicable for you if you do not have the opportunity to get government quarters on base. Whether it's going to your spouse, whether it's going to dependency, or most importantly, it is going to you. BAH is a tax-free allowance that is there at your disposal to cover housing costs. So when we're talking about BAH, there are critical areas that you must be aware about. One is a tax-free allowance, like I shared earlier. Two, it is dependent on your rank, your actual location, and then your dependency as well. Now, but what if your spouse is from another country? How does BAH work for you? The good news is that foreign spouses are considered dependents, so they will fall underneath the umbrella for BAH eligibility, just like your U.S. spouse would. So let's break it down. Foreign spouses equals dependents. Therefore, they're eligible to BAH as long as you're serving in the military. However, there are some regulations to also keep in mind as well. First, your spouse must be legally recognized by the U.S. military. So what that means is that all your documentation must be in order for your spouse or you to receive that BAH for your spouse if they are a foreign spouse. Second, if your spouse lives overseas, that means your BAH could possibly be different. Instead of receiving BAH, you will be receiving OHA, which is Overseas Housing Allowance, which would cover the cost of the BAH entitlement depending on what area you are in and how the cost of living is adjusted there. So when it comes to BAH or OHA, and if you're overseas and you have a foreign spouse, there are also legal implications that would be applied. Also, OHA implications could also be applied depending on the cost and adjustment that are in your area. Also, keep in mind for your proper legal documentation, make sure all your documentations are in order. Could be visa, immigration paperwork, it doesn't matter. So that way your BAH housing status would not be affected. Lastly, if you have marriage certifications and you have a child's birth certification and they fall underneath you as you the primary service member, so they are your dependents, make sure you keep all your information up to date and follow the latest and current regulation in regards to BAH or OHA, so to ensure that you have no issues when it comes to being paid your BAH entitlement or OHA entitlement. Now transitioning down to visa and immigration paperwork, that has to be updated and it is a requirement. Also, understand that your immigration paperwork also has to be updated and it will be a requirement to receive these entitlements. Basically, having a foreign spouse does not have to be complicated in order for you to receive your BAH benefits. Just be sure to have all proper documentations in order, follow all regulations from the DoD websites. Therefore, you will not have any issues when it comes for you to receiving your BAH entitlement. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this video helpful. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Most importantly, stay informed. And if you are going through these BAH challenges, reach out to your local finance office. Do your own research, self-study, so that way you have all the required information at your disposal. Until next time.